Hello, everyone. Welcome to All Things Life with T. I am Tepiso Warangwechana, and I thought I should give you a list of universities that do not require application fees and also some that require an application fee, right? Remember in the previous video where I gave you a list of universities whose applications have opened for the year 2023, I mentioned that you must apply to at least 7 universities. And during our school tours, I also was telling you guys to apply to at least 7 universities for your students or for your grade 12 child or for yourself, right? So the reason for that, let me clarify that before we continue. The reason for that, as you would have noticed from the video of Faculty of Health Science requirements, I mentioned that if it happens that you get the exact APS that whatever university you applied for requires, for example, if they want APS of 30 and they just want to admit 10 people, if you happen to get a 30 APS and there are others who applied for the same qualification you applied for, but they got a higher APS and they are more than 10, they are definitely going to take those ones with a higher APS. You do qualify for that particular qualification in that particular university that you applied for. But the fact that now they have taken the number of people they need before they can get to you, it then means that you are going to be rejected admission from that particular university. Hence, if you applied for at least 7 universities, you know that you're on the safe side, right? So that is the main reason. And also to make sure that if you don't qualify, for example, if your APS is lower than the qualification you applied for, or the APS that they require at that particular university, the other ones you applied for can at least, give you just one. Imagine if there are 7 that you applied for, just at least one would give you admission into their system, right? Or whatever qualification you applied for. So those are the 2 reasons. And the third one is that if you have applied, at least you have a student number. Even if they rejected you with your first or second option, you have a student number, and then you are able to maneuver your way around the qualifications that are related to the one that you had as first choice and second choice. Then you can then check if they have space. If there is space, you'll be able to submit your results and your ID copy, and make sure that you get admitted into that other qualification which is closer to your first and second choice, right? So if you had not applied to any university, because remember, spaces are getting full, right? So if at least you applied and they do have space after they have admitted everyone and you got rejected, you know that you're most likely to get something and not stay at home, provided you applied for the 7 universities, right? Okay, cool. The few things to note about application fees with regards to universities that require application fees. It is a non-refundable fee. So even if they reject you, they can't return your money, right? Because it's non-refundable. Fine. And then you need to make sure that you use the banking details that you find in the prospectus document PDF. Please go and download a PDF document of the prospectus of that particular university you're applying for, which requires an application fee, right? Do not just take banking details from Wikipedia or anywhere else without cross-checking with the banking details in that particular university's prospectus. Cool. And then make sure that the third thing, make sure that you attach a proof of payment of that application fee onto your application document, or if you're applying online, onto your online platform or where they're saying application fee, proof of payment, right? Because if you submit, if that university requires an application fee and you attach or you submit the application without the application fee document or proof of payment, they are not going to process your application, right? It's as simple as you missed a step, right? For example, if they say attach your ID copy and you don't attach your ID copy, they might come back to you and say you didn't attach your ID copy, please send it. Sometimes they don't have the time to do that, or they can't really do that for everyone. So just make sure you do the right thing. You attach the proof of payment for that application fee onto your application or application platform online, right? And then another interesting thing to note is that if you apply, for example, you apply to University of Pretoria and you pay the application fee this year or any year, right, to the current year. So if you're paying this year, and you happen to they reject you, for example, and then you happen to want to apply for it next year in 2023, you still are liable to a free application, because you would have paid that application fee this year, right? So if next year when you apply, you would be applying for free. Not that the application fee for the students who are applying for the first time in 2023 will be free. No, those who are applying for the first time in 2022 in 2023 would be applying for the second time, it would be free. But for the first time, you pay. The second time, you don't pay because you would have paid, right? Okay, so let's get on to a list of those universities that do not require an application fee. Please make sure that if your qualification is offered in any of the following universities, start applying with from those universities, and then you can, if you can't get to 7 universities, then you can then go to those ones that offer the qualification you want, which require an application fee. Okay, the first one is University of Johannesburg, second Northwest University, and then University of Free State, University of Limpopo, Sol Plaatje University, Nelson Mandela University, Walter Sisulu University, and University of the Western Cape. So there are 8. Make sure that you target those ones first and check if the qualification you want is offered in any of the 8 universities I just mentioned. And then if they are offered, then your 7 is sorted. If they are not offered, then we are going to the universities that require an application fee. So those ones that require an application fee is the University of Pretoria. It requires 300 rands, non-refundable. And then Stellenbosch University requires 100 rands. University of Venda requires 100 rands as well. University of Cape Town requires 100 rands for South African citizens, South African and SADC citizens, right? And then if you're a foreign applicant, you are required to pay 300 rands. And then University of the Witwatersrand requires a 200 rands application fee for South African citizens, and then 700 for foreign applicants. And then the University of KwaZulu-Natal requires an application fee of 200 rands, and then for late application it requires 400 rands, right? And then Rhodes University requires an application fee of 100 rands, and then the University of Fort Hare or Fort Hare, depending on how you choose to pronounce it, Fort Hare or Fort Hare, the application fee that it requires is 120, right? So make sure that you do the right thing, and at least with the ones that require an application fee, target the ones that have the lowest application fee, like 100 rand, 200 or 120, before you get to the one with 300. But if you prefer or you want so bad to go to a university that has a high application fee, apply, mtase. You're not limited, right? If you have the money, apply. If you don't have the money, you target the ones that have a lower application fee, right? So I just had to give you this information so that you are somehow sorted with regards to which university to actually target that doesn't require application fee, and which one has the lowest application fee and to the highest, right? But always make sure that you check on every university's prospectus as to whether it requires an application fee or not, right? They do state, if it's not stated, go to their website. If they are not, it's not there, which is highly impossible. Call them. If it's not there, call them. All right, that's the last resort. Once you call them, they will give you the exact and precise information. But ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you proof check everything, especially when it's related to money. People can scam you, and we don't want you to be scammed. Hence, we brought you this list so that you can be informed and do the right thing from an informed position, right? And we are done with universities and application fees that require application fees and those that do not. This is All Things Life with T. I am Tshepiso Warangwechana. And thank you so much for tuning in. Continue to subscribe. Tell your friend to subscribe and share this information with others. Ladies and gentlemen, also like this video if this was very informative to you and to others. And yeah, see you in the next upload. Thank you.